What a horrible start. What a horrible start. I had to restart the stream because I tested out something which was not working and that was causing some lags on the stream. So I tried to just immediately restart before all the games were starting. Yet YouTube ended the stream automatically. And with the delay of 3 minutes, I could not just enter the same link again. This will be a little bit, or this is a little bit of an issue because, like, you know, Wargaming has shared the stream, and this way it will not be the same link again anymore. Unlucky start. But now everything is working properly. That's the main thing. Better this way than having lags throughout the stream. Which would clearly be, yeah, very, very, very horrible looking at. Okay. Now I'm done with all that stuff. So I can just focus on the stream. I just needed to press one button to get rid of this. One button was needed. Never mind. The games are starting. We are going to see Raid versus TRNTNK. Let's head over to this. Okay. Sorry for all the inconveniences, but we are ready for the games now. Finally. And not having any frame drops anymore whatsoever, I hope. Good. Seems to be working here. Interesting choice here, AMX M4 on the field for Raid. A nice tank for randoms, for randoms at least, but clearly not the most seen choice in tournament battles. It is Port Bay, a map that is mostly decided in this corner here, where the mediums are heading. Mostly, if we are even having any mediums. I did not see any mediums, no mediums on the field for Raid. Heading into the corner with double 113s or even triple 113s. While the rest of the team is mostly moving towards C. But TRTNK did not decide to go for the C side. Having, yeah, a really unconventional lineup here with the E50M and M48 heading into the middle for the B cap. They got away with it, yet they suffered a lot and took a huge beating here. Lost about 1k worth of hit points already on one tank. Good focus fire and good punishing of the B cap here by the Raid team, which leaves Raid at a 2200 hit point advantage over TRTNK already. And TRTNK does have some tanks in the back here that were trying to cover the B cap, but they are offering a weak spot to Raid now, which is probably well aware of the hit point advantage at this point already. And already going in for a very aggressive push into this corner, finding these campers here. Not hesitating to punish them. And that was an ammo rack. That was an ammo rack of the E5 here. He would have been dead anyways. But Raid steamrolling over the blue TRTNK team. Altration, the next one to go down. He's not going to survive for much longer. Raid comfortably rolling through the lines here of TRTNK, which cannot survive this for any time here. 2 guns left, which are still full life for TRTNK. But they are also about to go down very soon. Deep impact here, getting focused. Getting bullied here. With the raid, they have lost one of the 113s. The 113 does not have a lot of hit points and gets killed quite easily, yet it does offer the advantage of a tremendous DPM. Okay, Steamroll game number 1. Looks like TRTNK is not too very prepared for this encounter. The same way as I am prepared for this stream. Now we do have another issue. We don't need to see that 2 times. Just before the stream, I installed a window in the middle here to check the strats before games. Yet, with the time lost, we could not go for it this time. Also, it's like on this game, it's not really too important with that kind of steamroll here. We are not going to see Raid's main tactics, most likely, as they will try to keep them for the better enemies, which will require some more difficult tactics for Raid. So it is still a very strong setup, yet probably rather a quite random setup, a quick idea of a tactic here for Raid. 30 seconds until the next game. It will be Port Bay again. TRTNK actually sticking to the pattern here. They seem to like it since it got buffed on the DPM. Although the pattern does not offer like superb mobility or armor, it does have quite a lot of DPM, yet the position that it was used for on the last game was questionable. Definitely. And let's go for the next one. Okay. Oh, no. Damn. I keep messing up things today. Okay. Not long anymore, I hope. TRTNK this time heading towards the C corner with the pattern first. That's what we are seeing quite often in random battles, at least. The C corner being taken by the mediums. In tournaments this is also not unusual, but the pattern will get countered by the triple 113 that are already rolling in. Falcon here losing a first bit of hit points. So did the E5 on the crossing towards the corner. Still a little bit of farming going on here by TRTNK, but they are not getting surprised from behind. They are well aware of the 113s being in the corner and they are already running away, but 1907 getting stuck here on the hill, not having the perfect driving route, messing up the shot as well and getting hammered here. Not surviving for much longer. There he goes, the turret is flying. After the ammo wreck on the last game, I guess 1907 is not the happiest player in the game anymore. But also, Raid Falcon is down. TRTNK have not traded guns poorly, yet they have lost a lot of hit points already, which will backfire quite soon, as it won't take long for most of the team from TRTNK to go down. The pattern here got punished heavily. 1k hit points deleted in no time. There he goes. The IS-7 is the last one left. Raid Blue still messing up a shot, rather getting behind, as the IS-7 got quite bouncy since the last patch. Well, that was a quick game. Raid did not really struggle here. Would have expected it to be maybe a little bit closer. At least I hoped for it. It is it a best of 3? Yes, it is a best of 3 at this stage still. Wow. Okay, usually I would just analyze the battles on this one. But really, there is not too much to analyze here. TRTNK just got smacked. TRTNK, yeah, seem to not be too well trained, having some strats that could be seen in quick tournaments here. I mean, they tried definitely. The last game or the second game was much better than the first one already. But the problem was that, yeah, they just did not have the hit points. First of all, they had one E5 getting stuck on a hill. And the pattern was clearly also not too helpful there anymore. But okay, it was not the worst start. But Raid just had way better map control right after that, because TRTNK all got trapped on the C cap, just having this very little area of the map where they could be, while Raid had the corner, which is very hard to reach and does offer some better positions, some better map control as well. I mean, I can still show you what I'm talking about on strat here. Port Bay it is. I mean, for these games, I don't really have to get back into the replay, as there was really, yeah, not too much happening here. Ah, okay. Let's do it like this. Desktop strat screen. It should be working now, I hope. Prepared this before the stream, and yeah, now it is working. Well, on the first game, we have seen the pattern and the E50M rushing straight into B, and they got away with taking the B cap. They took some fast tanks to get the B cap, yet those tanks were not fast enough to get out in and out unharmed, which is a little bit of a problem of those kind of mediums. Also, if you are in B, there are lots of angles you can get shot from. Therefore, it is a lot of a gamble to get into B or into the middle of the map immediately. But yeah, maybe they were also just counting on Raid to think they were on the medium flank with the kind of setup that they had. But the M48, I don't know. I would go for the M60 if I have it in my garage. Yet there are probably better tanks in the current meta, like the E50M, for example. In the tournaments, it would probably perform better than an M60 or M48 that gets penetrated very easily. Yeah, the problem also was like there were some tanks in the back here just camping on the side of TRTNK with a huge hit point deficit. Raid did not have any difficulties just clearing this area by some push over here and over there to just crossfire and trap them all in a pocket. TRTNK still had to retreat from the A side here. On the second game then, we could see TRTNK also had into the corner with the M48 and the WZ113. It seemed to be working out. The problem was that there were triple 113s again, Raid with a hit point advantage just because of the setup from the start on. Having these heavies here, Raid did not struggle at all to take the corner without any difficulties, while TRTNK tried to go for a counter push in this area. Yet there was only one tank that they could find. They potentially had better positions for that push if this e5 was not getting stuck in the stuck in the river there on the hill. Like this, we could see TRTNK all be in this little part of the map, with raid having the potential to just farm from like all around here. I can just draw it in here. No arrow needed. Like raid's positioning was like this, and TRTNK only had this little area, and you can imagine already that there are so many angles of crossfire into this that TRTNK just doesn't have anywhere to hide here. The idea of pulling these tanks over was not too bad, but they should have maybe just tried to retreat to regain some map control like this. But also this would have probably not worked. It was already like a huge problem that they had the weaker setup. Raid was just steamrolling their way into the corner there, taking the advantage from the start on. Okay. So we do have some time now. We do have like about 15 minutes. Usually I would try to analyze the games a little bit more than what I have done right now, but TRTNK clearly did not hold up for too long. Just going for a quick check whether everything is working. Okay, people are also on this stream now. Glad to see that people found their way here. Not only for the other link, which sadly crashed. What a horrible start into today's tournament. But yeah, can't change it. Nothing that I could do about it. Was like, it already got. I should stop looking at it. It got 70 views already in like a few minutes, and then it crashed. All right. So our next game will be a raid again, most likely, and hopefully some stronger team facing them. We do have Chord also in this group. Let's quickly check this on the current leaderboard here. Hall of Fame, everyone can check this. Clans. Raid is currently the 7th on the leaderboard. That means that Raid still has to try hard a little bit to get into the top 8 and stay in the top 8. As mentioned, it is the 3rd of 4 tournaments of the Prove Your Skill tournaments, which are the qualification stage for the professional tournaments of the autumn season, which then allows for fighting for the main prizes of $50,000 in total. But in order to get an invite to that, you need to stay in the top 8 by the cups you earn for each Prove Your Skill tournament. And yeah, Loka, PPIS, Immort, Jones, EG, Vale, Raid and Annie currently in the top 8. APA, Phoenix, Recam, Sparta, ASP, Repi in the Reddy and TT in the top 16. I can still quickly have a look at our group today. We will follow group 4 today. And let's see whether we can find some better information about the group here. We did have TRTNK in this group. Let's increase the size a little bit. TRTNK, Turk Tank, Treasure, Chord, and Raid. Tesha, we have already seen on previous streams, was performing quite well. Chord also having had seasons where they were very close to the top 8. I don't know yet how they're performing this season. I guess they are not in the top 16. Still, they might have some good strats ready to counter Raid here. And Raid should not take it too easy. Because for Raid, it is very important to win these games. If they do not win and do not get an invite for tomorrow's stream, for tomorrow's tournament, well, Raid would have a problem. Because it is like the most important thing on these kind of qualification stages, tournaments, to get into the next stage, into the final stage. And for that you do have to be like one of the 2 top teams of the group. Of today's group at least. And by that you will get your place in the next stage then, which is very important for gaining the cups. Sadly, I do not see the upcoming matches here. Raid versus Chord is the next one. Okay, second stage, group 4 upper bracket. After that, we will probably have like 1 or 2 more encounters. Chord, a Chinese team, I believe, have previously already shown some very strong performances. And it will be interesting to see how they are performing on this season. I think it's Chinese and European, a Chinese team in Europe. Yeah, okay, like, this is the problem now. If I press this, it's not working. It's not working. This is my stream, which is not live right now because the link is not updated. Okay, okay. That's a big issue here. Maybe I can just quickly share the new stream link with the Wargaming. I don't know if they will be able to still replace it. Because, yeah, you know, they're probably not working anymore. No, not online. Okay, okay. Guess I gotta live with it. Okay. We still have like 5 minutes until the room invite is coming up. So only a little bit of time. I don't know yet what our maps will be. That would be interesting to see, actually. I don't know if players would see this already. I would really love to see the maps already to give you some closer look at what is possible on these maps and what is not. But sadly, this does not work right now. Wargaming so far not offering too much information to me. And in general, the streamers. But okay. Only a few more minutes. So, what could we do still? 5 minutes left. It's not really worth starting any battles right now anymore. Yeah, Group 4 is the only one that we are going to follow today. Looking more forward to tomorrow's tournament, actually, when we are having best of 5 again, as today is only best of 3 tournament, where only 2 wins are required for heading into the next stage, which leaves us quite long breaks in between the battles, and often the teams are not the strongest in current field, so they will quite often get steamrolled, especially like on the first day, which I'm not even streaming, unlike others, because I decided to not really go for it, as there are quite a lot of fake clans or fake teams as well, which I do not really want to see live on stream. This way, of course, we just have to wait it out a little bit. At 32, the next games are going to start. So 1 minute until the room invite, and then we will know what tactic or what map is going to await us. I am currently following Group 4 Ultimate Bait. Okay. But we will definitely see raid again, like we always, or mostly we are following just one team throughout the whole evening. Yet Wargaming did not stick to the concept of just announcing one team, as there were quite a lot of occasions where teams were just getting defeated in early rounds and streamers only had one game then. So Wargaming transitioned to not announcing any more tournaments, any more teams to follow for the tournaments. I guess that will be the reason. But yeah, so far about the meta of the current tournament, maybe my opinion on that, what I've seen, it's very interesting to see some more different tanks again, especially on the stronger teams. It is still somewhat of a heavy spam, yet it is not only like the same 3 tanks that we are seeing over and over again, which was the case in the meta before the last patch, where we only had like Kranwagens and E5s. Then the Yo was added, and we could see some Yos as well. Yos, Kranwagen still combined with E5, sometimes Ice for a mouse, but that was rarely the case. Okay, a Vickers was also sometimes seen, but with the nerf of most of the OP teams, the OP tanks, we now have a lot more of the more average ones. The previously more average ones, which are now, in comparison to that, much stronger and much more, which offers a much more interesting meta of a more diverse lineup. Often we are seeing 113s again, which have been in the meta some time ago already. Also the AMX 50B still, or now even more, is a super strong tank that definitely requires some skill to make it work. Some more mediums are also being used, especially the FE4202, but that one is really left to the very experienced players, as it is quite risky to play a tank without any premium ammunition with a lot of penetration. By the way, we are just entering the next room again. It will be Castilla. Okay. Let me quickly show you what Castilla is mostly about. Set supremacy on. Good. We should have the Castilla map in the middle now, so you can also see it. Raid is going to start on the green spawn, which is in the south. Mostly from the south spawn, we are seeing a stretch that is heading towards the A cap. Let's increase the size a little bit. Yeah, that's better. Mostly we are seeing some AD caps from over here by some very fast tank rushing up there. Last time that Raid played this, they took a Sheridan up here for getting in decapping shots on A and spotting up anyone that would be crossing over there maybe. Also, like most of the team is following up into this area. Someone decapping B quite often, which will definitely be the AMX-50B in this case. Or not definitely, but most likely it will be the AMX-50B that Raid currently has on the setup for getting in those decapping shots on B quickly to make sure that no enemy is rushing into B with any light tank or even later on a heavy tank. Sometimes that is done, that we are seeing lights or light tanks mostly rush into the B cap at the start of the battle already. It requires some very fast tank for that, but then it is also like quite predictable if there is a bad shit on the lineup. With the Vickers though, it is less predictable from the south spawn, especially this would also work. Yet if there are enemies lined up for decapping shots from different angles, and then you can lose a ton of hit points for nothing already. But speaking about the south spawn still, Raid will mostly be in this area, taking the hill, getting in the decapping shots, and probably also having some light tank spot up C. So right now Raid does have 2 Sheridans. We will see 1 Sheridan over there, another one over here on this hill, trying to shoot down towards A, and also using this bush to get in spots over there. Chord, on the other hand, from the north spawn, might have some passive tank over here. Some heavy is often seen in that corner to keep the spots up on C and hold just this area, as this tank is very hard to push out, as it can get covered from all around the map, or from some very distant areas, and it would take a long time to get this tank out. But mostly from this from the north spawn as well, we are seeing strats that are heading towards A, some decapping tanks over here for B, maybe even over here, and then the rest of the team mostly on this hill. Sometimes it is a more passive strat with people camping in the back here, but also the north spawn offers the advantage of being able to quickly cap the base A, which does work easier than from the south spawn, as from the south spawn there is this corner that offers possible TD positions that could shoot into the A cap. Well, I guess that's enough for the potential here of the strats that we could see. Chord actually going with a double 113, which is mostly used for C pushes, although those C pushes turn out to be not too successful in many cases. Raid also having a griller on the lineup, and that one will get up on the hill and have the option to farm C for a quite long time. We'll get a ton of damage into C if, yes, Chord is looking like they are going for a C push here with most of their tanks. This M60 climbing up the hill to get in some crossfire, actually struggling to climb up the hill. Well, let's not pay too much attention to that. The Vickers rushing straight into B apparently. The Griller, no, it is the Sheridan putting in the first shot. There is the Griller. And another shot from Falcon in the corner. Another 2 from Falcon in the corner. Chord having lost. Ooh. That's what I mean why the C push is rarely seen now. And it will be so hard to push out Falcon Falcon is very well covered in this corner here. You can see he's perfectly hull down. Has a little hill. He does have a Sheridan, a Gorilla to his side. And the VK90 and the M60 are also rolling in. If Chord is trying to commit to this push, they are not going to survive this. And that is for sure. The 113 though trying his luck. Moving into the crossfire with a speed boost. As well as the adrenaline pulled off. But getting shot down for only putting out one shot here. And the Yo now going down after Chord has lost about, well, 3 tanks for this push already. Although the Sheridan from rate is also quite low already. But the M60 here from Chord very far in front, quite alone there. The next one is trying to move in, but he is equipped with a big gun, which does not offer any DPM. And with the 4k hit point advantage that Raid has, and also the gun advantage, a ton of DPM would be needed to somehow turn this game around still. There he goes. The Gorilla not camping anymore. Has moved up as well. Was happy to take some more damage. And only a Vickers and an M60 are left on the field for Chord here. And those will be out very soon as well. The Sheridan here still putting in a huge shot. Messi still alive on his hill on top there. Well, that is the issue about the C-push. I think I did not even mention this. That it was done some time ago. Quite often actually. But nowadays it is... Well, we barely ever see this on the strats of high-level teams. As you could see exactly what is going to happen if you're going too aggressive on C. It is very easy to push the C cap. If you do have some tanks like the Sheridan, which was moving up on the hill. Sheridan just got in the spots from over here. The Gorilla was standing right behind. That is a 1100 damage combined that they could put in before Chord was able to do anything. And yeah, and next one was the M60, also farming a whole clip before things even got close. Well, this one was not working out for Chord. They should definitely try to imagine a different strat there. And not only take an old one that has worked for other teams some years ago. Okay, next one is up. It will be the same map, different spawns though. Chord has adjusted their lineup now with a 263, an E50M, an E100. That's a very interesting lineup. Double M60, 113, and yeah, the Vickers also. That's, well, that is a mixed lineup. Barely having 2 tanks more than once. And up we go. Raid actually doing the same strat as before. 1 Sheridan for the A cap, 1 Sheridan for the C cap. The VK90 heading towards the middle. It is well suited for side scraping, like the best side scraping tank that we are having in the game right now. Chord on the other side not heading into... Oh! Chord not heading into C anymore, trying to quickly capture the base A. Problem is, they are very far in the open. Oops. And they are taking some damage for that. Yet not too much. Well, I have to correct myself. The E50M is a one-shot. The Sheridan also taking about 600 damage here. Was this cap worth it? I do have my doubts about it. This cap here very far in the open. It is possible to take it with some heavy tanks maybe. Oh, the E50M even get deleted by the Sheridan overpeaking on top there. Be soon in the hands of Raid, as there is only an M6 there for decapping B, and he will get crossfired by Messi from the side. And Raid counter pushing A already. They will not struggle to recap the base here. As Chord does have an E100 behind. And also there was still the 113. The M6 was also there. And the 263. Actually, the 263 is on this hill here. Gets pushed up there. But without any cover and being spotted, it won't survive for much longer. And so it does have to drop down. Did not really have the option to farm too much damage yet. Although Raid also suffered on their push. But they have a gun advantage of about 2 tanks right now. And still they are 3k hit points in advance of the Chord team. Which has gone for some very passive lineup here to cover the A cap. Which was clearly not working out, as the Vickers and the E50M died for free basically. The Sheridan easily outtrading the enemies there with his big alpha gun. First gun down for Raid, with Naro being deleted from the field. There are some low hit point tanks for Raid, yet only 2 guns left for Chord. Chord not really playing safe here on these games, which they maybe should do against a team like Raids. Trying to go for these very aggressive moves at the start was not the way to defeat a team with top 4 experience or top 8 experience like Raid is. Although it's been a while since Raid has been on that level. They have trained a lot and they are on a good level again. Oh, I'm just heading into the next battle straight away. It will be TNK versus Chord now. And they will fight in the lower bracket for the finals still. The winner of them will face Raid again. And will get a chance. Or will not only get a chance. The top 2 will head into the next stage, which is tomorrow. Chord might still get into the top 16. As we've seen, they are still quite far on top of their echelon. What is our strat here? Map Rockfield. Oops. Rockfield, okay. Rockfield now with, let's ready up first. To not forget about that. TNK versus Chord. Okay. Rockfield, a map that is mostly, well, often at least, the strats are quite passive. Like A is being contested by multiple tanks mostly, because you can cap A quite early with a heavy tank while pushing into C. With a light tank is a lot riskier if the whole team of the enemies is then just coming out from the back and crossfiring into the C cap. While on A you do have this little bunker here, which offers a lot more cover to cover behind. Especially with a tank like an IS-4 or an IS-7. you are basically free to cap the base unless there are tanks pushing behind you over there. So, other options would be to just hold passively in the back here from either spawn. That's what we often see, like having a bait here in the back maybe, or just having some passive holding tanks in this area. Same goes for the other spawn. The TD hills quite strong on both sides, which are nowadays mostly used for heavy tanks like autoloaders. And then, yeah, A mostly being played a little bit more aggressively if there are even some tanks. Otherwise, it could be a Vickers quickly going for a first spot over here or over there. Very symmetrical map here, almost mirrored. Otherwise, there are first spot positions in this area which can get punished quite easily. Therefore, they are not seen too often anymore, as they are very well known and people are pre-aiming those positions from the start on while being on the move. B, a difficult cap to take, as there are lots of options to decap this base. Well, not necessarily too many options, but it can often, or it often leads into a counter push onto B. Anyone that would be going into the base would just get pushed out here. That's the issue about that. Okay, teams are almost ready. We are having a mouse tank for TRTNK. Not unlikely to just function as a bait, basically, to get towards A, hold the base. That's what we've seen quite often already. Yet I would not be too sure for TRTNK here how they are going to use it. Maybe they are even trying to use it for B. But that would not be too perfect in my opinion, as it would take a long time to get back up. Double I7. Did I see 2 or 3 M6 still for TRTNK? It's been 2 M6 No. Red side, yeah. 2 M6 double I7 and IS4, E5 and the mouse. Let's see whether they are going for passive gameplay or just rushing one side or the other. Chord having lots of M6 actually 6 of them, and an I7. TRTNK has to be very careful now. Heading for this position for the TD hill with an autoloader, as mentioned already. The mouse going down actually to push B most likely. Chord mostly being on the C side. This I7 here is a possible weak spot. TRTNK should not struggle or to kill them if they are not afraid of pushing in there. And that's exactly what the mouse is doing here, not hesitating for too long. And the IS-7 getting stuck on the hill here, which you should clearly not see on this kind of level. Again, someone getting stuck on a hill. The mouse will punish that with another shot, so that the IS-7 behind, and there is another IS-4 to not kill the one shot, but rather going for a shot into someone over here, which is still quite healthy. Focus fire not really on point, but the IS-7 in the middle was not about to survive this any longer. But also TRTNK have lost the tank now with a mouse who got focused, and actually the hit points are in the favor of Chord, mostly because they had lots of autoloaders on the field, and the I7 now being alone in B, getting some help from the M6 behind, which is heading into a 1v1 against another M6. Most likely not the perfect choice here. Also, Deep Impact will maybe finish the enemy M6. Fluffs the shot and will die for this failure here. Alpha quite healthy still. One of 3 tanks of the TRTNK team still on the field. Actually, Deep Impact got saved apparently. And will get pushed onto quite soon now. There was probably an HE shot finishing off the M6U. Oops, wrong way, but the IS-4 about to get killed. Chord having a huge advantage at this point. Only one M6U is left, and that is over for TNTNK. Chord just going for a lineup with lots of autoloaders that were able to punish anyone doing a mistake. It was not looking too bad for TRTNK at the start, as they did manage to find the IS-7, which was alone in B, which also died with only 1 shot dealt. Yet this led TRTNK to have 2 tanks in a bad position, and Chord having all these autoloaders surrounding the map, surrounding these tanks in the middle, that were able to put out a clip into the mouse or whoever and just retreat into safety to reload their clip then and go back in. This is the strength of the autoloaders, not having to really commit, just being able to put out a lot of damage and then retreating back into safety. That is part of the reason why the autoloaders are so far in favor of all these teams right now. Some experimentation going on with FE42s, as they can easily hash all the M6Os. But other tanks do often struggle. 113 does have the ability to kill an IS-7 or an E5. Yet against an autoloader, 113 does struggle again. Let's see, not everyone readied up. I hope it's not going to be a 6 versus 7. Nope, it is not. Good for us. We do have TRTNK this time with an IS-7, triple M6Yo, an E5, a Vickers Light, and a WZ-113. Let's see what the Vickers is going to do. He is on his way towards A, about to get the spots in. Chord going for a very aggressive push into the middle again. They like this, they like this. What is the Vickers going to spot up? Where is the Vickers? I thought he was going to spot here. Ah, there he is. Not going to spot much from over here though. Spotting position would be like this, but he is able to maybe capture the base A for free. Yet now he does know that there is something behind. Vickers not really spotting, rather playing passively, and therefore not collecting too much of information for TRTNK. This also means that the Vickers might get surprised here from the Batchet and the M6O, especially the Batchet will hurt if it finds him. Also, on the other side, we are seeing a massive brawl here with an E5 being deleted off the field already. Chord YOLOing in with all their autoloaders, but also having now very bad positions, losing 1 tank. The Takagi has to drop down. There are 2 tanks in front of 5 TRTNK tanks, while the Vickers Light over here is very isolated, not really having a lot of backup, getting chased by the Batchet, but it is heading into a massive brawl here with everyone just YOLOing in. It is very hard to say what is going to happen here. 2 caps on the side of Chord, hit points pretty much neck and neck. Yet TRTNK does have maybe some better DPM with a 113 on the field. Chord, on the other hand, it does have these autoloaders And all these, yeah, they do have the small gun mostly. So they also do have quite a good DPM. Hit points now in the favor of TRTNK. They turned this around with this massive push here going on into all the Chord autoloaders and did not allow them to go for a long reload, which they did really well. There was a bounce into the M60. It's still somewhat close. Because of this bounce, the M60 actually survived and managed to take out another one. Oh, it would still be kind of close. It is not over. Yeah, it is over. It is over. It is over. 2 guns left on each side. 1 versus 2, but this M60 is about to go down. And only the Batshit is left with about 200 hit points. Yet, the Batshit does have 930 points on the clock. Taking all these bases really paid off here. Chord is going to get this win. Chord is not going to struggle at all to get the 1k points here. Unpredicted. Okay, that was very close to call. I did almost forget about the points there. I would not have thought that it was the Batshit left alive. And by that, Chord has won this encounter. But we are just heading straight into the next match. It will be Raid versus Chord again. Starting in about 5 minutes on Rockfield again. Okay. Okay, I will quickly grab myself something to drink. And yeah, you do know what is awaiting us already, basically. Let's turn that on again. It will be Rockfield again. Okay. Rockfield again. We have seen Chord's approach to this already. With the Yo spam plus an i7 or a Batshit. It paid off for them. Question is whether they will be able to do that against a team like Raid. Raid is certainly going to punish such an aggressive move into the middle and not committing too hard for that. They will not lose all the tanks for killing one. That I can tell for sure. On the last game, I think it was an i7 rushing into B straight away. While the rest of the team, what were they doing on the first one? I think it was the one where, yeah, the i7 rushed into the middle and the Yos were moving up all around this area as TRTNK then tried to counter push. These Yos were set up with some good crossfire into B, having the high ground as well. They could really make use of their clips and shoot into the B area, then being able to just comfortably sit over there while reloading. On the next one then, we did see Chord going for a more passive lineup, sending in the Batshit aggressively. This offers the huge risk of the Badger just getting killed and no time at the start already. We're going to see whether Chord is daring to do this move again. Raid now readied up with a triple IS4, no, double IS4, one E100, double M60, a Chieftain surprisingly, and a Vickers Light. Chord on the other side again with quadruple M60, double IS7. Oops. And yeah, this time Chord will probably have a hit point advantage from the start on with a full heavy lineup. Even if there is an E100 on the field for raid, I guess that Chord should have a hit point advantage. It won't be easy for raid to win this, but also Chord cannot afford to split up too far because of the Vickers alone won't do a lot of harm for a push into isolated tanks. But if Chord does allow the Vickers to get into the back, then it might get farmed and might get crossfired for quite a long time, which will not end to a good result. It will be interesting to see what Chord's approach will be. I believe they will do the same thing as on the last one. Let's head up. Chord this time moving towards A actually. Not sending anyone into the B cap. Raid on the other side going for an aggressive spot with the Vickers here, who has only been able to spot one IS-7 on the crossing, not the rest of them. There was an M60 spotted, first shot flying in, and most of the Chord team now being spotted. IS-7 being very aggressive here, finding the E100 M60, just rushing into them. This IS-7, a potential weak spot for Chord already, potentially just getting counter pushed immediately by Raid. Yeah, he's very far in the open, has lost some hit points already. We are seeing very bad trades so far on the side of Chord, having lost a ton of hit points for not really having gained any advantage here. Cap disadvantage also to Chord, although there is still a heavy on the other side of Raid. Chord would have to push in to make use of their advantage here. Messi getting chased down by an M60 or two M60s maybe, but those heavy tanks will also miss on the upper side here, where Raid is currently trying to counter push with Drizzle and Hocus Pocus Alex Focus rushing into the Chord M60s, which are not able to hold up a lot of shots here. They do have some clips though, but their focus fire is not really on point. The low hit point tanks on the side of Raid really split out about over the whole team. Good hit point sharing, but Chord still manages to clear another gun, yet at 2k hit point disadvantage and a gun disadvantage, it will be very tricky for Chord to turn around if Raid does not do any big mistakes anymore. It would require some AFK and disconnect, whatever, to win this game now for Chord, as it is a 4 versus 2. Dragon still in a 1v1, having a little bit of a chance to survive, while Chord Flames Flood is in a 1v3 situation, still trying his luck to catch blue. Oh. One hit point was left, is gone now. Surprisingly, Black Dragon is still alive. Now with a big gun on his M60. Did I Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness me, I just messed up. I think you have had the map in front of the screen all the time. Today is not my day. Today is really not my day. Things are not working as I would wish them to be. Oh no. Oh no. I forgot to switch the scene. My apologies. I think you could still see the corners of the screen at least. Ah. Damn it. Damn it. Okay, okay, okay. Mapping. Now people are seeing that on the stream with a delay. Okay, my apologies. That was unlucky mistake there. But we get it back to work now. Okay. I won't mess this up another time. There were enough issues for today. Okay, let's change the scene already. Okay, we are again on Rockfield. Great, now having an E100 on the field again. Chieftain again. It's the same setup as last time actually for Raid. Did Chord change some tanks? Yes, they did. They now have double 113s also on the field, delivering some more DPM. The Vickers not spotting down this time, going for a different spotting position, getting a very nice snapshot in from the IS-7 there. Well done. The IS-7's going super aggressive just through the middle. We try to cut off one side or the other potentially, but they will get farmed from behind. These IS-7, they will be in the back of Drizzle now, but they just got smacked already by the M60 on the other side. They have found an isolated IS-4 here, which will go down very soon, but it costs Chord 2 tanks to get this push on one tank in here. Naro rolling in to clear the IS-7. No, he's not doing so. He is going for the 113. Potentially now going for the kill of the IS-7. He is still not shooting yet. He really wants that 113. Keeping his shot until the very end. While Chord is still pushing in on the upper part here. Having not yet lost, I would say. They have still 4 tanks on the field. Well, they are at a tank disadvantage, hit point difference, disadvantage of about 3k already. Having thrown away 2 tanks for this one push. A very weird move there, moving all around the map just behind the enemies and then pushing back in was clearly not worth it. Was clearly not worth it. Some last Yos on the field for Chord here. The idea of the push into B was not too bad. It was really not too bad as it offered. Yeah, they really had this chance of clearing the IS-4 there with a double WZ-113s already. But they also pushed into the back with the double IS-7s, which was absolutely not needed. That was absolutely not needed to throw in the IS-7s into the crossfire of all the Raid team. They were spotted on the move. Raid was already in position. And there was no reason for the IS-7s to move in like this. They did not get any mentionable damage there. This was not really working out here. Okay. Do we actually have any more games today? I don't know. I don't really think so. Let me check that real quick. I don't want to end the stream before we are done here. But I think that might have been it. With all the games that we had today, that might have been the last one already. Let's quickly check on the website. If I even... Can I maybe just find what's going on here? Grand finals. We've just had Group 4. I think that must have been it already. Any more? Group 3? Group 4? No, no, no. Okay. I think I will maybe still wait a little bit for the chance of still getting an invite for the next games. Because there will still start some battles like in a few minutes. Okay, I can click none of the invites that I have. I guess that will be it for today. Okay. My apologies again for the mistakes that were ongoing today. Like a few little, flaws there were messed up a little bit. With having to restart the stream at the start, and then also the wrong scene throughout the battle. I hope you still enjoyed the stream. Today was really a little bit messy. Not my day. I will do much better tomorrow. Also, like games, they did not really heat up the air there. I mean, the teams that were facing Raid were surely not like insanely bad teams. They were good teams, but just on another level, not having the ability to really hold up the Raid's team for too long. Often just actually, there was no game where they really had a chance of turning the game around by doing some better moves in the end, because every single game that we've seen today was already lost by the strat that was chosen, because some tanks were in some very aggressive positions where they should not have been, lost some hit points from the start on. Others were camping behind, offering a weak spot like we've seen on Port Bay with the camping M60s, while there was an M48 and an E50M rushing into B. Those were not the fastest tanks. They were also not really well armored, so there were not really anything of that was needed to cap the base securely. And like this, the team was left at a hit point disadvantage. We've seen such kind of moves over and over again today, with the IS-7s YOLOing behind behind the enemy line there and getting farmed from lots of different angles. The mouse tank chasing the IS-7 in the middle while the IS-7 was getting stuck on a hill. An E5 getting stuck on another hill in the Port Bay game, which was also instantly instantly turning into a defeat there, because this tank was just deleted for free, had no backup at all, and those were that kind of misplays. Also, we've seen lots of missed shots, to be honest. I don't want to blame these teams here, but they really have to make sure that they do not go for these very aggressive strats from the start on. If they do not know 100% sure that they are going to work out, they should rather go for some passive lineup or some passive strat. Also, try to not pick like tanks that are not working out for top teams either. Rather try to maybe just copy a little bit here and there in order to get something that works out. I mean, you can always adjust strats that are working for others to your own playstyle instead of trying to create something new, which is then having some serious flaws in the strat already, which the better teams like Raid is certainly one of, can make use of quite quickly and turn the game around in a matter of seconds already. So my tip there for the teams that play today, really try to not go for such aggressive strats. Even the top teams are rarely ever going for aggressive strats. Those are a matter of gambling. If you are YOLOing into one side or the other and not having a tank advantage, not having everyone lined up for crossfire and focus fire in this exact area of the map, then you might end up with a big disadvantage from the start on. There are ways to rush one side or the other, but they also often lead to a lack of map control later on. If the enemy is not in front of you, you do not find anyone, then you do not really have any clue of what to do, and you need an exact plan for the scenario of the enemy not being where you would expect them to be. So you can somehow work around that and react to that accordingly. Well, I am awaiting tomorrow's game. Actually, tomorrow's game is much more, where we do have a best of 5, which is always a little bit more close, a bit closer, more tension in these games, not too long breaks in between, and we will have the option to just analyze a little bit here and there to really get into more details. And then today, where you could already tell when whether the game was lost or won after 30 seconds into the battle. While in tournament games, it is mostly about keeping those hit points and then just making use of the information that you've got for some clever pushes here and there. And that was not working out for any of these teams that were facing raids today, as they mostly lost their most important tanks, the most valuable tanks, and also those tanks with the biggest lack of armor and hit points. Therefore, the survivability of these tanks, the mediums and light tanks, yeah, these were suffering quite a lot for these teams that played today against Raid. Mostly at the start already, not being able to really make use of their advantage of DPM and mobility in the later stages where it pays off the most. Okay. So much about this one. So much about this one. Okay. Thanks everyone for watching again. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the stream. And again, apologies for my mistakes today. And yeah, I hope you will be back tomorrow for even better battles, for an even better stream. Stay tuned for that and have a good evening. See you guys soon. Goodbye.